10. After years of planning and design work, the state has failed to provide funding for a much-needed new jail.
Our Jolani Martinez reports from a meeting in Aiea where advocates say the state should instead spend money keeping people out of jail.
The people at tonight's meeting are brainstorming programs and layouts for the future correctional facility. Meanwhile, lawmakers are still trying to come up with the money. Parts of the Oahu Community Correctional Center are about 110 years old and deteriorating. Designed to hold 628 beds, this week it houses more than 1,000 inmates.
If we don't build newer, more modern, efficient facilities that are able to provide the programming and services we need, then we're not really doing the offenders or the public any service, because we're not really doing rehabilitation efforts.
It's been 6 years since the state's environmental impact statement was accepted for a sprawling new correctional facility in Halava. The city approved the permits and the state set 2030 as the targeted opening date. But State Senator Glenn Mackay says it may not happen because lawmakers haven't coughed up the $900 million it takes to build.
People don't want it, and it's expensive. We'll have a private developer build that, and perhaps we'll negotiate over the 30-year life. We will pay you, developer, X amount of money. It's because we don't have the cash now.
Mackay says getting a public-private partnership approved could take another couple of years.
We have misplaced budgetary priorities.
Meantime, prison reform advocates say the state should invest in existing community-based treatment programs, health care, and housing services.
For example, we spend currently nearly over $250 one day to incarcerate an adult. And when you multiply that by a year, that's over $90,000. We're spending less than $10,000 to educate a child in our public school system. And if we have more investments in housing, education, job training, healthcare, we would have far less people in our carceral system.
And Senator Mackay says the clock is ticking. If the state doesn't ease overcrowding behind bars, the federal government could step in with a consent decree.
That is the last thing we want to have happen here.
Why?
Because then the federal government tells us what to do, right? And says, like, forget rebuilding Lahaina, forget building more schools. All of this money, $900 million, you do it tomorrow. We don't want that to come down our throat.
Jolani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.